What's up, everybody? Thanks for stopping by the movie Hangout. Gina Carano. This is a name that has rocked Hollywood for the last, well, I think it's about 2 weeks now, and for good reason. So I wanted to wait just a little bit, just to kind of get all the facts in, just kind of let things cool down just a little bit before I dove deep into her groundbreaking interview that she gave with the Daily Wire. And if you haven't checked that out, you got to see that, and we'll touch on that. So if you go on over to the Daily Wire, Gina Carano to produce and star an upcoming film for the Daily Wire. And if you have been living under a rock, you've just been totally unplugged from social media and you don't know what happened. What happened is Gina Carano said totally normal opinions, political opinions, cultural opinions that her co-star, Pedro Pascal, even said, and they weren't even as bad as what Pedro Pascal said. And she shared a couple memes basically saying that if we dehumanize people that are different, it leads to violence. And she used what happened in 1930s Germany, which a lot of people use that example. Even Pedro Pascal used that exact same example. But because Gina has a different political affiliation than Lucasfilm, she's been persecuted for it, and she was fired, which is absolutely ridiculous because she is a really popular character. She's a rising star, and nobody has a bad thing to say about her personally. I mean, even Carl Weathers came to her defense. So it's just really, really sad to see that type of hate thrown at a person for really doing nothing wrong at all. So with this interview, actress Gina Carano is partnering with the Daily Wire to produce and star an upcoming film exclusively for Daily Wire members. So what this is they're going to develop a movie starring Gina Carano, and she's going to produce it as well and be through the whole creative process, which if you're an actor or you're just a creative person, an artist, that is like everybody's dream. Usually it takes several movies that have to be like a huge success for a studio in order for you to get that type of deal. And she's getting it right now. So it's really a fantastic opportunity. Carano and the Daily Wire announced the new partnership on Friday, 2 days after the actress was ousted from her role in the Disney Star Wars spin-off show, The Mandalorian. Disney cut the actress on Wednesday in what critics alleged was a politically motivated hit. And it's not alleged, it totally is. When you read Lucasfilm's reasoning for it, I mean, it's just absolutely preposterous. The Daily Wire is helping to make one of my dreams to develop and produce my own film come true. I cried out and my prayer was answered, Carano said in a statement Friday. I'm sending out a direct message of hope to everyone living in fear of cancellation by the totalitarian mob. I have only just begun using my voice, which is now freer than ever before, and I hope it inspires others to do the same. They can't cancel us if we don't let them. And I mean, when I read that, I'm just like, good for you, lady. Seriously, like so many people say the wrong thing, and it's not even the wrong thing. It's just what people in power don't want to hear. And they cower, they apologize, they humiliate themselves, and they still lose their job. And so it's just so inspiring to see Gina just being like, there's nothing wrong with what I said. I'm a good person. I don't care what you say about me, Disney. And more people need to do that. If everybody did that, if everybody just stood their ground and said, we have a First Amendment right to say what we want without being persecuted. Because if you get persecuted for speaking your mind, then you don't have the freedom of speech. And a lot of people will say, well, you have a right to say what you want to say, but you also don't have, you don't have a right to not face the consequences. Well, that's just stupid. That's idiotic because every communist country has, every person in a communist country has the ability to say what they want to say in that moment, but then they end up going to a gulag, they end up having to be thrown in jail, or they lose their job, or they get fined by the government. So there is no freedom of speech in those countries. So that's basically what they're saying. They're like, you in this moment can say whatever you want, but you're going to get targeted later on, which is not an American virtue at all. That's not what made our country number one in the world. People have to have the ability to say what they're really thinking. That way, ideas get better and power gets challenged because people in power never want to be challenged. They never want their opinions or ideas mocked or ridiculed. So that's why Gina standing up against this billion-dollar company, which is what Disney is, and just saying, no, you're not gonna push me around. I mean, I don't know. I'm inspiring. I think a lot of people are too, and more people need to do this. But Daily Wire co-founder and editor emeritus Ben Shapiro welcomed Carano, touting her work as an actress and slamming Disney for cutting the star for offending the authoritarian Hollywood left. And it really is authoritarian. Authoritarian is it's like a political ideology, authoritarianism, where you're constantly put under powerful people's thumb. You're pushed around, and if you don't do exactly what they want you to do, they will destroy you. Quote, we could not be more excited to be working with Gina Carano, an incredible talent dumped by Disney and Lucasfilm for offending the authoritarian Hollywood left. This is what Daily Wire exists to do. Provide an alternative not just for customers, but for creators who refuse to bow to the mob, said Shapiro. We're eager to bring Gina's talent to Americans who love her, and we're just as eager to show Hollywood that if they want to keep canceling those who think differently, they'll just be helping us build the X-wing to take down the Death Star. I love the Star Wars reference there. It's well deserved, and honestly, that's kind of what Gina is. She's like one of the X-wing fighters, and she's going through the what is it, the little valley space there on the Death Star to shoot one of those torpedoes of truth. So let's check out the interview that is on YouTube right now, and this is over at the Daily Wire YouTube channel. Now, this went up February 21st, so that was on Sunday, and it's a little over an hour long. I watched this from beginning to end. It's really, really interesting, and it's just a great interview. Ben does a good job. He lets Gina talk. He doesn't interrupt her in any way, and she doesn't walk back anything that she said, which I think is really important because when you really look at what she said and the context and the nuance of what the meme was, there's nothing to be really upset about. This interview already has over 2.4 million views, and look at this ratio: 174,000 likes and just 4.8 thousand dislikes. So 4.8 thousand trolls, I mean, versus over 174,000 people that appreciate. And I wrote, we want a, quote, we want a strong, independent woman that will do exactly what we want, end quote. That's from Lucasfilm / Kathleen Kennedy. And if they didn't actually say this, fact checkers, I just want to let you know, but this is exactly what they think. And this is exactly what Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy think. They don't like people that honestly think for themselves. They like you to say what they think. That's all that they want to hear. They don't want to hear independent thoughts at all. They don't want to be challenged because authoritarians never, ever want to be challenged. Well, Gina, I just got to tell you, you have a friend for life from us, from everybody here watching, and whatever you're buying or whatever you're selling, we're going to be buying, and I can only wish the very best to you, and I really hope that Disney Plus, Lucasfilm comes to their senses, realizes they can't be doing this to people. They can't be treating people horribly, lying about people, slandering people, and expect to be successful long term, because my view of Disney has changed dramatically. It really has, and Lucasfilm. And I really hope that eventually Kathleen Kennedy is kind of moved out of that position and out of the whole company, and they bring somebody else in. Maybe Jon Favreau can be in charge of Lucasfilm, because I think that the toxic environment that is there right now will go away, and we'll be getting better characters, better stories, and just better content. Well, anyways, Thanks for watching, and if you want to get future rants, reviews, or original content, click subscribe. Later, guys.